mining there, because really tank and vultures are not very effective at single dual tank as vulture's not going to be that effective at killing buildings, although he will get this spotting put down, it looks like. And we do have this overlord coming in and dropping off another lurker at the bottom. Going, see if Light's able to respond. That lurker has 1 kill, and it looks like this drop at the main is about to get cleaned up. Maybe if that vulture goes down, yes, the vulture does go down, so that siege tank will go down to the nearby Zergling. And it does look like Light has managed to irradiate that lurker at the bottom left as well as the 6 o'clock position. Both of them do go down, and that spawning pool does survive. So Crazy Hydra able to defend there, and I think he did get a few SCV kills. Didn't get a lot, but he did get a few. But now it looks like Light is prepping for a push. It looks like he's starting to unsiege some of his tanks. We may actually see him go for a big push here pretty shortly, probably towards the 3 o'clock position. I think that's where he's moving. If he can take out those bases, it's over. I mean, those are the 2 fresh or more fresh bases that Crazy Hydra has, and those are the ones that he needs to keep alive. And Light is going to go try and punish him for it. He's using those tanks. Look at that, shooting across the way there. That little space gap, I like that. I love that, actually. I love shooting across that space gap. He's got a really good strategy here going for that. And he's just going to be able to crawl some forces in here. And what is Crazy Hydra going to do in response? It's going to be tough for him, as he does actually stop and drop this, so that is good. Light was going for a drop there at the main. That did get picked off by Scourge.
Yeah, there's a few things that Light is doing right now that I really don't agree with. Going for these drops doesn't make sense to me. Like, why is he dropping in the main? He must be trying to just snipe tech buildings, but really that's not the kind of thing that he needs to be doing right now. The other thing is that he's really, really tank heavy, and against a very Zergling heavy army, that's not going to be the best composition for him. At the same time, he's every time he gets a bunch of vultures, he's just running them in to do some harass. And like I said, he's already ahead in economy, so while he is killing a few drones here and there, he already has that lead, so he's not really accomplishing a whole lot there. He is pushing towards the 3 o'clock, and if you can shut that down, then that's going to be good. That's the kind of damage that he needs to be doing. But just making tanks and dropping them into the main is not the kind of thing that he needs to be doing. Looks like there's going to be a drop coming towards Light's main, which could be the opposite story, because Zerglings are actually very good at killing buildings, and there's a swarm and several Zerglings in right now, and actually a lurker as well. So, and actually I think all the vessels get plagued there, so that's huge damage from this drop from Crazy Hydra, and he's going to start sniping buildings as well.
Yeah, that is actually a really nice plague and a nice drop, and I believe there are still some mutas around. I remember seeing a couple here and there, so there is a chance that some mutas could come and pick off a bunch of vessels, and a bunch of Zerglings heading home for Crazy Hydra. I wonder if something did actually get dropped there out of that dropship that I thought blew up before anything dropped. I wonder if there was a tank that dropped there or something like that. But his Zerglings are still doing some damage here, and it looks like Light did bring some forces back, so that's going to buy Crazy Hydra a little bit more time. He does have a ton of lings. Look at this. You are absolutely right. Look at the number of lings that he's got. He's just going to try and do a lot of mind jabs, going to try and drop and use the swarm as best he can, not even looking to transition into Ultra Tech at all, which is kind of surprising. Normally you want to get some Ultras going to soak up some damage, and here comes some more swarms and some lings, but unfortunately Mine's able to pick them all off, and this Lurker does manage to get under another swarm, so it looks like he will be able to start picking up these tanks, but still, look at this. He just has not really done much damage. He's cleared out some mines, but he hasn't really killed anything, and that's the problem right now for Crazy Hydra. He just has not been able to do much damage to the forces of Light. Like, I don't think Light lost more than like a single tank in that engagement, while he killed like 30 or 40 lings, as well as a Defiler and a Lurker. So that is just not economical at all. He's just really struggling against all of this mech that Light is bringing to play, and I'm pretty surprised to say that. I'm pretty surprised to say that Light is going hardcore mech, and it's working pretty well for him.
Yeah, I think Light's plan at this point is just to hold the ground that he has, wait until some bases start to mine out. He doesn't seem that intent on killing any bases, just killing a couple drones here and there again, running a vulture up to the top right. So he doesn't really care about killing bases because he has so many bases right now that if he just holds the ones that he has, but there's a huge drop going on his tanks. This is the kind of thing that I don't like about Light's strategy right now, is that he's allowing Crazy Hydra to do these little drops that are killing tanks, and if Crazy Hydra can somehow pull off a miracle drop and kill a bunch of tanks for free, and then have enough of an army to run in afterwards and be able to kill the rest of an area of Light's siege line, then Light could be in trouble. But for now, still, a lot of tanks out, a lot of turrets and mines, so he is safe for now, but again, there's lings running everywhere trying to kill his tanks.
I mean, there are a lot of swarms going down and a lot of links flowing through them trying to get to these tanks right now. But it's so interesting to watch is just the difficulty that these links have in getting through all of the siege tank fire, even when they're under swarm taking that splash damage and struggling to get into those tanks. Because even when they get there, they're doing a little bit of damage, but they're still struggling. And it's just, it's kind of unfortunate to watch. You're like, Crazy Hydra's doing everything he possibly can. It does look like he's playing pretty well overall and just trying to fight this back. But he's still struggling. He just cannot defeat the power of all these tanks, all the damage that they're doing. It's just too much for him. A couple Zergling here at the 6 o'clock look like they're actually going to pick off a couple of tanks, which is good for him. And some of these drones dying. Did he irradiate drones? I think he might have irradiated drones, because I don't know what else killed that drone. So I think he's just starting to irradiate everything. Look at that, irradiating all these defilers that he found. Wow, that was 3 defilers that did go down. Some more Scourge coming in here actually could pick off a bunch of vessels, actually. It looks like only 2 vessels left. He could pick off every single vessel that Light has. Look at that, 1 vessel left, and it is going to survive. So there's only 1 left vessel left here for Light. So that is painful, a little bit at least, here for Light. He's going to have some problems with detection, dealing with defilers, and keeping up to date in terms of keeping his opponent's defiler and lurker count low. That will be a little bit annoying. So that's a nice little win there for Crazy Hydra. And some more swarms coming in here. Some more links are going to bother the tank line while he goes for a doom drop. But there's a bunch of turrets waiting for him. Look at all those turrets waiting for him. Light suspected this was coming and actually positioned some great turrets. Picked off a bunch of those overlords, forcing them to drop early. And there's still more turrets there. And Light knows exactly what's going on. And GG from Crazy Hydra. Light going mech. Not often we get to say that. Light going mech against his Zerg opponent and coming away with a victory. Freezer? I believe I lost my freezer jumps. I lost my freezer jumps call drop. That makes me sad. Okay, well that's that. That's going to be set to 3 is over. Crazy Hydra loses, so that's KT's first loss, and Woojin Star's first win comes from Light, who is one of their top 3 players, Light, Zero, and Sulky. We should see Zero and Sulky in 2 out of the next 3, probably the next 2 games. We'll probably see Zero and Sulky. And I am getting a message on Skype. What's going on? GG! Yes, I agree. GG! And Ethan's the only one left in my call, so I believe we've completely lost freezer jump. So that's unfortunate. And Ethan's stream is a little bit behind as well. I hope not. I hope you're not too far behind. I hope you haven't like even seen GG instead of like GG already. No, you guys have. You guys have definitely seen GG. It's all good. Alright, well it looks like we're going to go to commercials, and not a whole lot else to say there. That was actually a pretty entertaining game, I would say. Like going with that 2 racks early pressure that did nothing, and managing to come back. That's pretty impressive play, and like going max. So it looks like we got a couple different things that you don't see often happening in one game, which is always fun. And unfortunately for you Zerg players and KT fans, they all went in Light's direction. And yeah, Light gets the win there and gets close to evening the series up. We'll see who gets sent out for the 4th match. Until then, I am going to mute my mic for a little bit. Maybe Eaton will play some music for you. Perhaps, Eaton. I think that's what you should do. And I am going to go get a drink. And I will see you guys all in the 4th set.
Hello.
Hey Freezer, it looks like we're going to play some music, and I suggest, yeah, you missed it, but we are going to play music, and I decided that Eaton's going to show them the Deja Vu song by Ina.
Please tell me Light won that game.
He did. He won.
Okay, thank God.
He did. He won.
Yeah, my computer decided that it didn't want to play anymore. Yeah, my computer decided that it didn't want to